dài một vòng đua là 4,6 km, bao gồm 15 góc cua, gồm 6 góc cua trái, 9 góc để thực hiện những pha vượt người.
Là rất quan trọng, và ngoài ra vị trí contractor dành cho nhà sản xuất khi mà Ducati cùng với
Rõ ràng mặc dù có được chức vô địch thế giới, tuy nhiên
chạy cuối cùng của vòng xoay khởi động chính là Miguel Oliveira, người giành vị trí xuất phát đầu tiên. Một mùa giải đặc biệt, đúng là trong lịch sử để tìm kiếm 10 tay đua chiến thắng chặng và không hề dễ dàng một chút nào trong một mùa giải. Đèn đỏ sẽ vụt tắt ngay sau đây và các tay đua sẽ tăng tốc trong sự chờ đợi của các đội đua. Miguel Oliveira vẫn bảo vệ được vị trí xuất phát đầu tiên của mình để tiếp tục là tay đua đang chạy đầu vào lúc này.
After the mistake from PortugueseGP into turn 1, he's recovered well. He's now gone onto the tail of Stefan Bradl in his pursuit.
Then the only man in the 39s, nobody else anywhere near a 39 at the moment.
Here comes PortugueseGP. That was coming up the rider. Cal Crutchlow up ahead of him.
The last time Bradl had a top 6 was Sepang in 2014, a long road.
So here comes Miguel Oliveira then, the Red Bull KTM Tech 3 rider from Portugal, who landed pole position.
He's just going to be cementing that. Cristiano Ronaldo might be the two-legged star in Portugal. Miguel Oliveira, the two-wheeled star in Portugal. That's need to be mission accomplished in that respect.
Into turn 5 we go. Rins really close to the tail.
He's going to elude Suzuki because Jack Miller's third place. That would get the job done for Ducati. That would be their first construct
by life-wise. Really badly in Valencia, it happened in both races. The pace dropped off a cliff around about...
Real nice buffer. What is it? He's back in the 39s. Back in the 39s, 2.9 seconds clear. Franco Morbidace.
Yeah, he's a class above the rest right now, that's for sure. Now, there's a couple of changes further back. Rins is through on Quattro.
For Joan Mir, that disastrous 20th in qualifying. He's 16th at the moment. He's got a long gap to bridge to Valentino. Cal Crutchlow then has finally lost 4th place as well. Espargaro is the man on the charge. He's recovered after that mistake in turn 2.
Well, because just behind them with some good pace is Joan Zarco, his Volkswagen Ducati rider. Meanwhile,
he just cannot run the pace of Oliveira, simple as that. He's just operating on a completely different plane at the moment. 3.2
machines showing again here quite a bit of weakness. No problem for Franco Morbidelli. This is a replay of the start incident between Bagnaia and Mir. Now
into that tight turn 3.
That looks like some sort of shoulder ligament damage, doesn't it, or something horrible.
Painful
for the Portuguese man. Jack Miller here in 3rd place on course for his 4th podium of the year and back-to-back podiums. There is Fabio Quartararo behind Rins and Nakagami, who's in 4th place. It's a huge gap up to Jack Miller as well.
Yeah, it looks like the Ducati going to be constructor champ with a factory Yamaha team yet again. Vinales looked like he was going to be fighting for the win here on Friday. So good in
Alex Marquez in the battle for 9th. There are no battles to watch out front at the moment. Lonely out front is Oliver.
Now he was concerned about the tyre wear after lap 15. Well, at the moment, he's riding that KTM on rails. Higami fires that LTR Honda up the inside. There's nothing that Quartararo can do about that, and it's getting worse for another train. Got some information on what happened to the very unfortunate poor Pecco Bagnaia.
Yeah, he told his team, they just told me that I would be in.
Pretty horrid run for the second half of the season for the Italian.
Alex Rins on his way to Barcelona tomorrow for a consultation.
But Dobby's gone too deep in, or it's getting a bit tight through turn 1. Joining them is Aleix Espargaro, who's got brilliant rhythm.
Runaway race leader, Oliveira, who is finally, on that last lap, was slightly slower than Frank.
At the moment as things stand, of course, Miller in 3rd would give Ducati the Constructors' title.
Race for Ducati. They came mighty close to it last weekend in the closest finish we've had all season. It was a nail-biter and a thriller.
Would have had from fans in the grandstand here. Gap the same at the front, 3.7 seconds. Their former Moto2 world champion, Alex Marquez. And here's Joan Mir, turn 3. It's been a fair Mir. 16th right now. He's got to find 2.5 seconds at least to get a point to start his... So deep was Crutchlow. So he's gifted it back to him again. Bradl's right on their coattails there
as well. Zarco's not been able to find a way through on those three men ahead of him. And what's happening is while they're engaging, this is bringing, talked about it yesterday, saying that this circuit, of course, without the data and information, the experience and knowledge, having come in for the first time.
0.1 off Oliveira, but at the moment he's trying to find a way of getting through on Franco Morbidelli. You're looking here, though, at this huge battle. It's such a great sight to see Stefan Bradl fighting like this. And let's not forget, Bradl crashed at the fast turn 9 this morning.
Crash at turn 9 this morning, so to jump back on, that's the way he ended warm-up. To go into the race with that fresh in his mind, the last he's picked up a bunch of point-scoring finishes, Stefan Bradl. This is his best performance in the drive by a long, long time. 6 years got sucked in there by Stefan Bradl. Zarco got up the inside of Bradl. That might have just disturbed the air in that braking zone. And I had to stay on 2 seconds advantage. There's been no tyre drop-off at all for Miguel Oliveira. Same for the likes of Morbidelli and Miller.
So another top 5 beckons for the Frenchman.
Yeah, good ride, strong way to move into Pramac Ducati. Did this last year, didn't he, as well, Jack Miller? A real strong finish to 2019, and bar some absolutely rotten the mechanical in Le Mans when he was so strong in the rain conditions, and then wiped out by Brad Binder in Teruel.
There's been a lot in factor, that wasn't the same.
Slowest lap by Miller for quite some time, just doing all he can to try and now loses yet another place. What an absolutely shocking end to the season for Fabio Quartararo.
This will be his 8th. Well, in the closing stages of this one, here is a man who's definitely not struggling, Miguel Oliveira. Well, it would be 8 podiums in all and 3 wins in 2020. What a turnaround.
A couple of years to see a KTM in the top 6. Now it's a massive shock if they're outside of the top 6. That's not going to happen today.
Slow Bradl follow, then it's Dovi, Nakagami, Aleix Espargaro in 10th, then it's Alex Marquez in 11th, Vinales and Rossi. So Rins' day's getting even worse.
Dovizioso's speed has been flatlining throughout the whole race. He's just been able to keep.
Now Crutchlow still in contention for a top 5 to finish his MotoGP career with. Just up ahead of him is Johan's 20th place on the grid yesterday, so some unusual technical problems befalling the world champion on the factory GSX. For the Italian who we're on board with now, 5 laps remain. He's got 4 tenths to cover on Jack Miller.
Crutchlow's hopes of a top 6 really tough now, and Dovizioso just blitzed through on Zarco. Nakagami's coming through, incredible. Just managing the tyres better than anybody else around him, and now Miller is right on Franco Morbidelli.
Can he make the move? On board here with Franco Morbidelli. It's not quite the spectacular end to the season we were all hoping for.
No, but you have to pay tribute to Miller, who was himself a 10th quicker than Franco Morbidelli ahead of him. This looks like it's going to be a Morbidelli over the last 2 weekends. He could write a book on Frankie's riding style. Fabio Quartararo would not be the top man in Petronas Yamaha. It would be Franco Morbidelli who's going to be the top Yamaha. Jack Miller trying to pressure Morbidelli into a mistake, but he's just unflappable there on the Yamaha, helping Morbidelli just eke out a couple of metres more on Miller coming through the final turn.
Nakagami in 5th ahead of Dovi, Bradl.
Frustrating day then for Joan Mir, not the way he wanted.
He'll still get there. 3 laps to go, and so far so good, depending on what happens. They've got work to do.
Isn't it, for a Yamaha engineer throughout the winter?
Nakagami's speed late on in this race is impressive. No, well, it's time to find out what Jack's got. There's a lap and a bit left.
Yeah, Crutchlow in the early stages was really looking strong to finish his LCR Honda career, finishes.
Miguel Oliveira has started his final lap of the race, and he has been perfect so far. Alex Martin,
fastest man on the circuit yet again. He did say he can keep tyre life with that RSGP. He's got very much of a cool customer, don't want to curse him, but it's been absolutely picture perfect in Portimao, hasn't it? Nothing else to take to here.
He's got to have a look. You know he's going to have a look. Here it comes, up the inside from Jack Miller. It's the block pass.
But the class here in Portimao.
The checkered flag comes out here in Portugal. Miguel